The day's approaching to give it your best, and you've got to reach your prime. That's meaning you need to put yourself to the test and show us a passage of time. We're gonna need a montage, montage, a sports training montage, montage. Show a lot of things happening at once. Remind everyone of what's going on. What's going on? This is a virtual pro goal scoring montage. Montage. Show a lot of things happening. Oh, okay, alright, whatever. Welcome to Budget Buggies. That was my attempt at singing the Montage song from South Park. And a lot of you, or actually one of you, commented on one of my Reddit posts that you wanted to see a goal montage from Virtual Pro gameplay. So I decided to put one together from some games that I played a couple of days ago. I wasn't able to get a lot more footage because I've been playing a lot of Ultimate Team, but I think I did really good in a few matches. Obviously the ones where I sucked, I don't have them because I didn't score any goals. What tends to happen with me in Virtual Pro is every once in a while I'll get like 3 goals or 2 goals and 1 assist, or 1 goal and 2 assists in a game. And then for like the next 2 or 3 games, I'll just suck like badly. My rating will be something terrible, like 4.9. I'll get to touch the ball maybe once because the rest of my team don't know how to pass. And so that's kind of how it goes with Virtual Pro, which is why, even though I like it because you get to play a position and it's kind of fun because, you know, it's almost like you're playing with friends at the park. The problem is that most of the time these friends seem to be blind and also 4 years old. So they'll do things like never pass to you, or goalkeepers charging out and playing in the outfield. So every once in a while, though, when that doesn't happen, it is one of the best gaming experiences I've ever had, playing in Virtual Pro, scoring a goal or making an assist to a goal, or at least just, you know, stringing together 8 passes. I've sometimes I get so bored I count how many passes either team will string together, and almost never it'll be more than 5 or 6. I guess I should make this a drinking game where I decide to see how many times, if it actually hits 8, I'll take a swig or something, but I'll be completely sober, I'm fairly certain, by the end of my gaming session, however long it may be. So anyway, I scored a few goals with my kind of short player. I wanted a little bit more speed. So I scored penalties. I scored some good other, rebound goals, garbage goals, as they called it from my hockey playing days. And I did really well in a couple of matches. You'll see me getting man of the match here. It's definitely not, an occurrence that happens quite often, but I try and, be really highly rated, or at least, do enough for my team. So then I actually went into the pro editor, and I made my guy a little bit taller. I think 5'11" was what I settled on. I went through various heights, and you look at the stats and you see how they change, especially strength and jumping. They are severely affected by what your height is, and the trick here is really to make yourself tall enough to get headers or win those headers, but also fast enough to be able to get in position for those headers, because a lot of Virtual Pro, you're going to see there's not a lot of build-up because, teams online generally, in pro ranked match mode at least, not in organized match, but in pro ranked match, they generally never, string together too many passes. There's not a lot of sustained pressure on goal, so you do need a lot of speed because most of the attacks are going to come through counter attacks or down the wing, so you need to keep up with those speedy wingers. So 5'11" I found in my previous games as well as a really good height. You get a nice acceleration. Your jumping is pretty decent as well, and so that really helps if you want to get those headed goals, or the achievements for heading your goals. Of course, in this one, I really didn't need it. This was another case of being in the right place at the right time. When you're a striker, you got to make sure that you're always there and ready for any rebound that might come off the goal, because people in online Virtual Pro will just shoot at sight. Basically, everybody wants to be the hero. Everybody wants to score goals. And what you can do while you're playing is, use that to your advantage, and always, be there when they're about to, score a goal. And if there's a rebound, like what happened here, you see how I'm going in, and I'm going wide because I don't want to block his shot, because that wouldn't be a teammate thing to do. But I'm making sure that if a rebound does come out, I'm in a reasonable position where I'll be able to get to it before a defender. And also, you have to make sure that you're not offside, because then that's just really sad if you get to the ball and you're offside. So that was a great volley there. I had enough time and space to pull that kind of shot off. But basically, when you're taller, the other thing you got to remember is you're not going to be as fast as you were as a midget, and your stamina is not going to be high. But if you place yourself in the right position, like right there, and the position I'm talking about for headers is in between the box, the 8-yard box, and the penalty spot marker. If you put yourself there, that's where the majority of the crosses are going to come in, and that's kind of where you'll get most of your goals. If you want to go nearer, you can go inside the box, but the problem is that generally defenders don't go in as much, and so most likely you'll be offside. And most crosses, the online folk generally don't tend to go too close to the touchline, because generally they'll kick it out for a goal kick. So generally you get pretty early crosses, so you want to make sure you're in that magic, quote unquote magic place, like right there, right in between where I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm making sure I'm not offside, and the cross comes in and you just head it in. And the other thing with heading I've noticed as Virtual Pro is you have to make sure that your positioning is impeccable. That I got pretty lucky. The defender was ahead of me, but generally you want to be in front of the defender if you want to have a high success rate at heading. So if you can be in front of the defender and kind of jostle him, and if you're in that magic zone, you'll score a lot of headers. If you want to score a diving header, that's a little different, because, and actually I don't think I've scored a diving header with my Virtual Pro yet, but in game you essentially have to kind of be off that magic zone by a few yards, so your player will attempt to dive, and also make sure you have the diving header trait. Otherwise, obviously your player won't do it. And so that's really all there is to it. When you're as tall as 5'11", you have the strength needed to just kind of push defenders a little bit and create that space. Whereas if you were a midget, you might still get headers, but they'd have to be all free headers. You wouldn't be able to back into a defender, for example, and score them. I think this last one is a cheeky one where I pressure the goalkeeper. I desperately wanted to touch it to get my second goal, but fair enough. This is the other thing you should do as a striker, is make sure that the goalkeeper doesn't get this is kind of video gaming, but you have to make sure the goalkeeper doesn't get that immediate kick off, because distribution from a goalkeeper is what generally leads to most goals. Actually, even in real life, the time a team is most vulnerable, apart from having just scored, is when they've been in the attacking half and they've taken a shot and everybody's pushed up, and teams are extremely vulnerable to counterattacks. And you'll see this with counterattacking teams, where they'll defend, and then suddenly, bam, they'll just hit you on the counterattack with pace. And that's basically all gameplay online. This is another garbage goal. Just being in the right place at the right time will get you so many goals. You don't ever have to worry about finessing. And this is great. This is a great kind of tactic if your pro is still leveling up. Even if you're rated like 70, 75, you can still be the right place at the right time with that kind of pace if you're a smaller player. And you don't really need, the finesse shot and stuff that you can do later on. And also, try and be nice to your teammates. Throw in crosses like that every once in a while. If I see people making the right kind of runs, it's always pleasing to get crosses in. Let's see a crunching tackle here. I don't know how that wasn't a foul. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the tips on scoring with your Virtual Pro, and let me know if you guys want to see more, and I'll see you guys later.